Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're all set up. It always takes a little bit of fiddling to get it in all the different places. So, hi, Bharat.
Hi, Julie.
You
What
know,
a journey. 1 year.
we met in Florida, right? Was it last year?
Last year, Delray Beach, COP with Brandon Watt. Yes.
And I remember we were chatting on one of the threads for the class, and we were coming in around the same time to the
Yes.
airport. And you're like, okay, let's ride together. And then your flight got in earlier, and you didn't want to wait, so you left. But then you came back because you said you felt guilty, and I just thought that was so kind that you actually left and came back to give me a ride. So.
Thank you. You're
Like
welcome.
there are people like that in the world.
Oh my God, so sweet of you to remember.
Well, how do you forget something like that?
Thank you.
Most people would just be like, see ya, figure your own shit out, which, it's easy to get a ride to your hotel, but it's
Very
just
true.
nice. So I'm grateful. So, have you been traveling at all recently?
The last I traveled was to Puerto Vallarta during the CF training in September, but
Mhm.
I haven't traveled as much afterwards, and I'm looking forward to going again for the Global Foundation. Let's see what would it take for me to go there with total ease.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I know getting into Mexico is pretty easy. It's
Yes.
getting home that's the slight, has a
Challenge.
little, but it's still fine. It's still ease. It's amazing how, and this is what you want to talk about, points of view. It's amazing how if you have a point of view that's going to be hard or that you can't travel, that you
Yes.
don't even look to see what the requirements are. And honestly, there are none. To go to Mexico, anybody can go.
Yes. True.
You can just go to the airport. You don't need anything. Well, a passport.
True. True story.
So,
Yes.
how fun is that? That, you know, you can just, instead of holding on to a point of view, you can just ask a question and see what's possible.
Awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And it's funny that you mentioned about point of view because I was intrigued with this particular question. I use this tool, but when I was listening to one of the calls of Christopher uh, and Christopher Hughes, and there he mentioned something where Gary had told him about getting rid of all his points of view about his antique shops, all the antiques that he had.
Yep.
Like, some of the antiques you put in the front of the store thinking that this will sell more or
Right.
customers will notice it more, and someday you think, oh, this hasn't been selling, so you would put it back or all those points of view. And he asked him to let go all the points of view, and then his sales soared up. And then for all his other stores, he asked each and every salesperson to release their points of view about each and every single item. And this is just material thing. What if we release the points of view about everything? That
It
is
is pretty amazing what that does.
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
notice that when I sell my products to other stores and they have points of view, oh, bracelets don't sell. We don't care. And it's like, wow. Okay, so you can be a certain amount of algorithmic interrupt to create them letting go of that point of view. But yeah, I always wondered how to overcome that. And there's certain places it's just like, no, my jewelry doesn't want to be there. But sometimes I would just say, for some magical reason, my bracelets sell. So I put a different point of view in their head. And they're like, oh, her bracelets sell.
You- and it's so easy, so dynamic that you change the point of view, and it just like it's like it vaporizes and it just melts away.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really um, about becoming aware of what your points of view are so that you can change them because a lot of people have no idea what their point of view is. I remember when I
Absolutely.
first started coming to class, I had no idea what my point of view was. And Gary was like, well, you don't have a point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not wrong to not have a point of view, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to become aware of where you're buying into other people's points of view and creating that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, when I was, going through the journey, came across this awareness that in school we are not cognizant, but we see that in a class, a brilliant student who solves difficult problem, like teacher appreciates and like he's respected and everybody looks up at that person. And then somewhere you buy that point of view that in order for you to be brilliant, you have to solve difficult problems.
Mm.
And then you don't even realize it. But in life, one after another, you come across difficult situation and you solve them and you feel good about it. But what if it didn't have to be like that?
Yeah. There is a certain amount of uh what's the word? Satisfaction
Hmm.
of being able to solve something like that. But I think I actually prefer the magic of just
Yeah.
creating something.
Yeah. What if I didn't have the point of view that in order for me to feel that I'm brilliant or intelligent, I didn't need to. I didn't have to. I don't want to solve difficult problems. I'm aware that I'm brilliant or intelligent. Then those problems don't have to come to me. It's just I shift my point of view and my reality changes. So it could be as simple as that, right?
Yeah. So, what points of view can all of you out there
Mm-hmm.
become aware of that are not working in your favor that
Absolutely.
you could simply shift?
Absolutely.
One of the
Absolutely.
things that I've been looking at recently, this is going to sound really stupid, but um, um, I've had this like princess thing where I don't know, I just have this energy of princess
Uh-huh.
that I now would like it to be queen.
Uh-huh.
Because princess is, your parents take care of you
Yes.
and you don't really have any say. And a queen is different.
Yes.
And so I've been looking at that and seeing all the places where I choose to, you know, be that instead of the other. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's going to change things magically.
Yes. And it's interesting you said that it sounds stupid, but what if we were even willing to be stupid? Willing. We don't have to be stupid, but we are just willing to be stupid.
Well,
All
absolutely.
of
That's why I said it.
yeah.
And I know there's a lot of people out there who have points of view about princess and queen and all of these things, and really they're just roles that you can play.
Mm-hmm.
And in one session I had with Dane many years ago, he said something about, well, in another life you were a princess, but you're not in this one. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
get over it. You don't have a kingdom to adore you anymore. I was like,
You don't have ceremonies to open with the Caesars. Yes.
but there's still this like there's so many different things that about that are fun and that are not. And I look at all the different sides of those roles, like not being able to choose what you want to choose, go where you want to go, having to be told to do everything and all of that, but also having all the elegance and the beauty and the opulence. There's both sides to it.
Hmm.
And what else can we choose? What role would you like to play, and what nuances of each of those roles can you choose, and what can you let go of?
Awesome. Yes. Beautiful. Yes. Yes, of course.
So what have you got going on this week? Anything fun coming up?
I have to share a story. Oh my goodness. This is, remember when Dane shares his story about his first bar session when he went to Canon, and the last part he
Yep.
was like giggling and he was smiling. I I fancied that maybe some people would have experienced it, but I wasn't really getting the whole picture. And I had a bar class this Saturday. Then there was this lady who wanted to have a class after the Global Bars Day, but somehow she shifted, and she chose to have a class on Saturday. And then there was another person who was willing to come on Saturday, but she chose to come on Sunday. She said, I can only make it on Sunday. So I said,
Mhm.
okay. So I had a class with this lady on Saturday, and then she had so much space open up for herself. She said sometime during the receiving of the bar she was having no emotions, no thoughts, and she was just like totally as if, I mean, in different contexts people said this is nirvana, that kind of a feeling she had. She couldn't quantify it, but she was enormously happy, and she was in tears of joy. And then I that was the time when I said I have a class tomorrow. I have one person coming in, so she said I need practice. Can I be the body to come? I said and play. I said okay. I'll call you after the reading session of the bars is done so you can swap. And then she came. And then during the end of the second gifting, and uh, this this lady who took the bar class on Saturday was gifting to the one who was taking receiving.
Yeah.
And both these girls, they giggled and giggled and giggled, and they said, we haven't laughed like this in ages, in years. And I said, my goodness. This was like aha moment for me to see these two ladies having the joy of their time laughing
Yep.
and tears rolling through their eyes, and they
Yep.
didn't even know why they were laughing.
Yep.
The girl was not able to finish, like, I want to do restructuring, boy. She wasn't able to speak, she wasn't able to do, and she was just giggling. So it was something very funny. I mean, it was something that I thought that, I mean, I was seeing that people will be having
You
dynamic.
haven't experienced that
I
before.
hadn't experienced. I hadn't experienced, and I had
Maybe we
I,
should trade bars.
maybe. And this was, yes, of course, we should, yes. So that was a very uh, interesting and amazing experience to me.
Yeah. Sorry.
What's good? Yeah, no problem. What's going on with your world, Julie?
Well, I had a bars class posted on Sunday, yesterday, and nobody signed up. So I went for a beautiful hike. It was a gorgeous day, almost 70 degrees or something. And um, up on the coastal mountains, looking down at the ocean. And
Mhm.
then I went on the beach. It was awesome. I was like, well, there you go. Um,
How does it get any better? Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure what it is. Like the last couple times I've posted a bars class and shared, and nobody's shown up. And you'd think that after Global Bars Day and the thousands and thousands of views of
Hmm.
that video, that there would be somebody in this area who might be interested in learning. But
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
maybe
they
it's
choose
going
when
to
they
take them a
choose.
little time.
I had last year in February, I had posted a class, and I'm in New Jersey, and I
Mhm.
got a call from a girl. She sent an email that, is this class in person? And I said, yes, it is in person. And this girl was a nurse, emergency nurse,
Mhm.
emergency psychiatric nurse in Massachusetts. And then she called up and she said, is this really in-person class? I said, yes. And this was her third class. So she drove from Massachusetts, stayed in a hotel for 2 nights, took the class and went back. And I had, I mean, this was something that people choose. So when they
Yep.
choose, they choose. So,
Yep. Totally. Yeah. That somebody was saying, I can't remember who I was talking to, but over the weekend,
hmm,
somebody was saying that, California has so many different modalities that,
yes. Hmm.
you know, this isn't, it's like not the only one and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if I really agree. I think the modalities are everywhere, and it's just a matter of when it pops for people. And there's like a wave where it goes, through the United States, and then it goes to Europe, and then it goes to Brazil, and then it goes to, Australia or whatever. It's really not a constant um, popping thing. It's going in waves, like everything in the universe.
True, true, true. Recently, what I have also seen, I mean, we all know about this concept, this phenomenon of 100 monkey. So now there is lot of awareness about consciousness, people using the speak a language of different things, what else is possible and all those things. So there is an awareness. So even though there are different modalities out there, people are looking for something that will make them more conscious, more aware. The case in point, the girl who came for the class yesterday, I had worked with her one session about 6 months back, and then I thought she may not be even interested into this kind of thing, and she came for the global bars just to experience what it was. And in
Mm-hmm.
between, she had chosen different things to take care of herself, and she was really, she was having a me time, and she was enjoying herself. Really, she was really enjoying, and she came for the global bars day. And then she said, "Wow, this is." I didn't feel like something extraordinary, but I had peace, I had ease. And then she saw the class which was posted and she said, is this something for me? And if it is light for you, you can choose. If see, I can tell you that there will be tools available during the class which you can use for your day-to-day life, but it's for you to choose. And this is the girl who was laughing her, her belly off, I would say.
Yeah.
So it was amazing, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really cool. Yeah. I know. Some people don't feel anything when they get bars. Some people have these really intense experiences. I've seen the gamut over all the years. I've seen people like, their body jerks and their legs go in the air, or people have, entities come up, like this, all this stuff. And then there's other people who fall asleep, and other people who feel nothing and think, wait, did you do it? It was already an hour. What? It was an hour? Are you sure? But they change. I started working with a client maybe
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Ran bars once. Um, he liked it. The next week, ran his bars again. I saw him 2 weeks later. So I guess it was a month ago. He looks 10 years younger.
Wow.
And it's like, that's interesting.
Amazing.
And
Yes.
he's like, yeah,
Yes.
it was nice. I don't know really what it did. And I'm like, okay. Has anybody else mentioned anything different about you?
Yes. They're not even willing to acknowledge that they have this change.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to feel like, and that's the thing too, is if you're looking for how you think it's supposed to feel, you're not going to perceive what's actually shifting and changing. And another thing is you'll notice that um, maybe weeks, months, even years later, that all those buttons that people used to be able to press are disconnected. And so you don't react like you used to anymore. But it
Absolutely.
takes going into that situation for you to find out that it's gone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the question that you asked me, what's going on for you this week, I would like to mention last week I went to a adult daycare center. My primary care doctor is a medical doctor for daycare center, and adult daycare center where the clients or the patients, they come in the morning at 9 o'clock and they leave at 2 o'clock. It's just daycare for senior citizens, 65 and up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So went there and gave them the pitch that this is something we would, like to gift the bars once a week to your elderly community. Just for 20 minutes, they can hop on the table. Couple of, practitioners from New Jersey, we can come and do this, and you can experience. And she said, okay, you just give the pitch today, and then maybe after, couple of weeks, we see if these people would choose. And even before started talking, there was a social worker who was there. She said, I want to experience a bar. I want to. And then she said, I want to learn. So she wants to take a bars class. The social worker was working in the adult daycare center, and they were all different people from different backgrounds. So Spanish, American, African, Americans,
Mm-hmm.
Indians within that. So all of them, like, they gradually says, okay, I have this. Can this help me with this? I have trouble sleeping. I have this voice in my head. Can this help me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's so much. And then the director of the daycare center saw this interest in these people. I said, okay, you come next Wednesday. So this Wednesday we'll be doing that 10 to 12, 2 hours of free bar session. We'll do it for a couple of weeks for them to see. It's like energy wellness center for energy wellness program for the adult daycare center. This is something maybe community or other
That's
bars friendly.
amazing. Yeah, I know I've reached out to a couple different
Mm-hmm,
elderly
mm-hmm.
care places here, and they have said no, even
Okay.
though it's free.
Yeah. It's
So
maybe because I
good
knew
on
the
you.
yeah, because maybe because I knew the primary care doctor who's
Uh,
in charge of that, and then there's a willingness because sometimes what happens, the persons who are running the practice, they see that they are offering this activity, and this there is another. See, everybody whose relatives are going to the adult daycare center, they are all looking for a better quality of life for their
yeah,
loved ones or their significant others or whatever. And this is additional thing that we are offering, like this energy wellness center. They are sealing the bars, or they are having some basic tools to ask different questions. So it's just empowering the senior citizens in the adult daycare center. So I said, this is something I could share with whoever is watching now or in future.
that's awesome. And maybe it wasn't time then, and I need to reach out again.
Yeah,
Because that's the thing, they can say no, but what did they say? You have to try 7 times, get 7 no's, or 7 times
with the
70.
nose, yeah. Right
Seven
voice for
times
your nose.
70. Okay, now are you ready? Well, maybe, yeah. And I can schedule it for apparently February 15th, the mask mandate goes away here in California. So,
Awesome, yeah.
uh, finally. Do you
I
guys
think
have to wear masks there still?
we do in within the facility we have to wear the mask.
Mm,
So this is because even all the clients who are coming to the daycare center, they are all wearing masks.
yeah.
Staff was wearing masks, so we also
Well, I guess that makes sense in that kind of a facility.
exactly.
You know,
It was a huge facility, and it gives us an opportunity. I tried here, the veterans, they have this VFW and other clubs. So I went and approached them that, hey, you have this veterans, you guys meet every evening for drinks and other things. We can come and go.
Mhm.
Offer you free bar session, as a service to the community. And they say, right now because of Omicron, we want to hold back. So there is a different point of view where these people who are relatively healthy, they don't want to try it out. And here,
Yeah.
the adult daycare community, they are willing to take it. So
Yeah.
whatever.
It's amazing how it also shifts depression and
Hmm.
anxiety so quickly.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, what's more dangerous,
True.
the Omicron thing or depression?
Absolutely. But this is a point of view that they are holding, and unless they are willing to let it go, we can't make them
Right.
change
And if
their
they're
mind.
not, that's okay. We'll just be happy.
Yeah. Of
And
course,
by the
absolutely.
way, being happy boosts your immune system. So,
So true. So true. Yes.
so whatever you do, don't get happy.
No. It's a forbidden. You're forbidden to be happy.
Yeah. They should change the thing from an apple a day keeps doctor away to a giggle a day keeps the doctor away.
Yes, they should. Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I was just listening to one of the interviews that Venus did on some
yes, I
podcast.
heard that too.
Yeah, it was very interesting. She said that my mom tells this bars as a Pilate for brain, and I said that was amazing. What are the bars? Bars are Pilates for the brain, so it's like the exercise of the brain. So that was
Oh,
amazing.
I thought she said colonic.
No, she says Pilates or whatever.
Oh,
I
well,
thought it
either
was
way,
Pilates
exercise or clearing it out.
clearing. So it was amazing. I say, wow, that's really, it's like, you're touching and boom, it is clearing, and it is like a brain exercise without actually doing something on a treadmill or
Right.
awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you're listening, go get your bars run so you can experience something different, maybe. And it's actually one of the easiest ways to change points of view because you don't even know what points of view you have that are keeping everything in place. But when you run bars, it clears all those points of view so that you just are present and you get to choose.
Yes, absolutely. And you don't have to cognitively know where you bought this points of view or lies, or whose points of view you have it, whether from your parents, your siblings, or your teachers, or your neighborhood, or whoever. So that's a beauty when those bars are run. You suddenly find so much space, and you're making different choices. And people say, "Wow!" I mean, this lady, she mentioned that she was avoiding watching something on a TV or something, and then suddenly she's like interested in watching it, like a binge couple of shows. So how
Mhm.
can you get any better than that? You make a different choice, so you have more space available for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining me and for having, I know you probably have water because your Mondays are your water day, right?
What it is? Yes, I'm having coconut water. Yes.
See, I
Oh, you
remember.
remember? Oh my
I
God.
don't know why. There's certain things I remember and most everything else I forget, but
I know. Oh, thank you very much for having me, Julie. I'm really grateful to be here. And
awesome. Yeah. And I'll post this on YouTube and you can share it with your friends. And, what else is possible for all of us to have different
absolutely.
choices, more ease and more fun. Have a great rest of your day. Talk
You
soon.
as well, Julie. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye now.